Now, ladies and gentlemen, 2 updates in 1 week. It almost seems as if Valve is back, yet there's still dozens of bugs, and yes, as the keyboard warriors will say, there's still no anti-cheat. With that being said, yesterday afternoon, Valve sent out yet again another update to Counter-Strike 2, adding a couple of new features, fixing some bugs, yet players still have questions about game-breaking bugs that have been left unpatched for quite some time. Today's video will break down Valve's recent blog post for Counter-Strike 2, do our best to answer some non-responsive questions from the community, alongside discuss bugs such as the new jump bug, or more so returning jump exploit from a few years ago from Big Clan. We'll deep dive into the new competitive cooldown for some cheaters, alongside a bunch more. Now, today's video sponsor is SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a buying but most notably trading marketplace, that being for your CS2 items. You can trade off your old skins for something new. All you do is log in with Steam, you start a trade, and any cash remaining goes to your available balance on the site. When it comes to trading an item you don't have enough balance for on the site, SkinsMonkey has a large variety of deposit options. By using my code MANDO, you can get up to a free $5, and by depositing alongside using my code, you get an additional 35% of a deposit bonus. With SkinsMonkey's large variety of skins, they also offer daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. If interested, the link will be in the top of the description down below. Firstly, for today's video was last night's update. For a little recap, we got an update on May 2nd, May 7th, and then one last night on May 9th. For the most recent blog post, there's only one category with 6 different points. The only category being is miscellaneous. And something I also want to mention is based off of last night's update and the patch notes we see, there's one of 2 things that have or have not happened. One of them being is Valve tends to forget or maybe sometimes not include a lot of the things they fix, either deliberately or sometimes they don't know they fixed or sometimes broke something and they don't include that in the blog post. And yeah, for them breaking something, they're not going to know until the update's already sent out. But something as big as the jump bug. This has been one in the game apparently for quite some time, and it wasn't included in the blog post, which makes me think that we'll check on later that it hasn't been patched yet. But with that being said, let's now deep dive. The first point up here says that Valve has reduced the opacity of teammate names near the crosshair. Now, it's pretty well explained here where if you just have your crosshair, you aim on your teammate, especially at close distance, where their name is very big on your screen, it's now going to kind of disappear in a sense. The second point is Valve made the death experience during the bot takeover match the normal death experience. Third one is they fixed several bugs with looping through bot takeover spectator targets. The fourth one up here is they fixed several bugs with the scoreboard buttons not working as designed, which this is pretty self-explanatory. When you try and cycle through the stats or something on the scoreboard, maybe click on someone's name. At least for me, I'm not even sure if this is what actually got fixed. It sometimes wouldn't work, especially in an actual competitive or premier game, but if that's what specifically got fixed, this is pretty cool. And for the last 2 points, that being 5 and 6, they were both bugs mentioned by Aquarius, which Valve actually thanked him for in the blog post. With that being said, the 5th point up is they fixed a bug where the in-air kill feed icon wouldn't work with certain weapons, which this is something I'm not sure if Aquarius just found out himself, but for myself, I noticed this just a few days ago where certain shotguns or in certain situations you wouldn't get that kill feed icon whatsoever, which was kind of odd, but I'm glad that's now fixed. I think where Valve went wrong with this was just the past couple of updates. They made it to where you can't get the in-air kill feed icon anymore if you use nades. That could have been something. And for the last point is they fixed a bug where the HUD would be offset after watching a demo. And once again, for the last 2 points, thanks again for Aquarius. So with the blog post wrapped up, I gotta say the most important point is the crosshair. I think it's a very good change. But on the other hand of things, this has also been in the game for a lot of people depending on their crosshair and their settings for some time. Nevertheless, it's still pretty awesome. So yes, those were some good additions and bug fixes, but here's a list of problems that may or may not be still present inside the game. Now, the reason I say may or may not is because a lot of these are illegal boosts, places you're not supposed to get to whatsoever, and for the jump bug, you need a spectator in order to see if it works. And I'm just soloing today's video, so I'm not really sure. And judging by people's comments on Twitter, it doesn't seem like the jump bug actually got patched. It seems as if there's still a running jump boost on Nuke, that being from T-Roof all the way to T-Spawn. Now, why or how you would use this, I'm not really sure. Maybe for a flank or someone rotating back outside, back into lobby. You also have a boost on Italy. Now, this isn't in the competitive map pool, but based off the high player count right now and how many people play competitive, I'm not really surprised this has been figured out. And there wasn't just a boost on Italy. There was also a glitch or maybe an exploit where if you had the hostage in your hands, you jumped on the other person's head on the other team, that being from one of the bridges, you would automatically die and the other person would win the round. And in some rare cases, you'd both die, and I'm not really sure what would happen after that. And now one of the juiciest bugs or more so exploits in Counter-Strike that we've seen for quite some time. Now, this is a post according to Duck CS. The jump bug seems to be back from Big Clan a few years ago, but it works a little bit differently. So a little throwback to Big Clan, they found this out, they used it on Inferno at the little half wall on Banana, and you could essentially jump, crouch mid-air so the other team wouldn't see you, but you could see over. It was practically free wall hacks, and you wouldn't make any noise because you'd be crouching at the end. Or I think that's how it worked. I'm not 100% sure. But you could still see them, they couldn't see you. You get the point. And I'm not sure if this was based off of the same bug or something completely different, but there was also a self-boost glitch, where you'd pretty much do and use the exact same maneuver as the bug where you jump a little higher then crouch back down. But with that being said, it seems to be back in the game, but it's changed a little bit. According to Duck CS, you need to equip the C4 and put in this command he said on his tweet, and judging by some of the comments, this has apparently been in the game for quite some time, and since it's not included in last night's patch notes, I'm not 100% sure if this has actually been fixed, but I'm sure because of how big of a problem this is, it could be fixed tonight, if not then next week. But I wouldn't really worry about it too much since the only people who can do it are the ones with the C4, so I guess it could be a lot worse. Now with the blog post and bugs out of the way, here's some changes that Valve made last night to VAC alongside cooldowns inside Counter-Strike 2. Now for some quick context, within the last few weeks, Valve have made some big changes to VAC and how Valve wants to deal with cheaters. Essentially, there's not enough Steam support staff to check and review every CS cheating case. And well, Valve's solution to all this is they came up with the idea of banning people for one day, essentially giving them a cooldown so they can't play, only if their gameplay was seen to be irregular, according to Valve, and just away from the normal. Now, what that means in their words, I'm not really sure. Does irregular gameplay mean irregular from what they normally play and how they do, or just in general how most people would play Counter-Strike? Now, heading on over to Steam support's page for CS2 competitive cooldowns and bans, in the competitive cooldown category, they say they exist to ensure Counter-Strike matches are enjoyable for all players when on the server. When a player commits actions that negatively impact the match and players in the match, they may receive a competitive cooldown. So that's for griefing, obviously, which then keeps players from playing on Valve official servers. Now, the next few points are being kicked from matches, abandoning matches, being AFK or not participating in matches, so pretty much farming. And as yesterday's video we looked over, which is case farming, that could also fall into this category. And here's where it gets interesting, which Valve added last night. Receiving too many in-game reports for griefing, which that's not new. VAC has flagged your gameplay as irregular. Players who VAC determines as having irregular gameplay will be disconnected from the match and receive a minimum 1-day competitive cooldown, regardless of their current cooldown level. Cooldowns are issued for irregular gameplay to prevent access to game modes, and they end this category off by saying competitive cooldowns are issued based off of your irregular gameplay, and you can't access Valve servers because they don't know how to deal with you yet, essentially. And the next point pretty much is the exact same thing, but it's not you who's cheating, it's someone in your party, or at least VAC thinks that someone in your party is cheating, so you're also going to get a cooldown. And it seems like these next few points kind of contradict themselves as well. Can my competitive cooldown be removed? They say no, it can't be removed from your account. But then they say how long will the competitive cooldown last? Valve have said they have 4 levels to the cooldown. The first one is level 1, it lasts 30 minutes. The second one is level 2, it lasts 2 hours. The third one is 24 hours, and the fourth one lasts 1 week. A week of clean play can reduce the cooldown by 1 level. Now, if you guys want more information of how the cooldowns work, one, I can do some more information to talk about in Mando Monday, or maybe its own dedicated video. I can search and ask around the community for more info. And essentially, for a quick summary, there's 4 levels to the cooldowns, and the higher cooldown you go, you need more time to play, but it's not going to be on Valve official servers, which is weird. You pretty much need a slate of clean play where Valve doesn't flag your account to go back to normal. And since this is so new, we don't really know how this is going to play out. I have a couple different thoughts here. One of them is Valve isn't ready to release the anti-cheat, so they're kind of just letting cheaters go by, but also flagging their accounts so they can't play. But in order for them to get flagged and not play with other people, they have to ruin somebody's experience. So I'm assuming if your account gets flagged for irregular gameplay, your trust factor is going to be so bad, especially if you're a cheater, where if you want to play in semi-legit matches, you're going to need to create a brand new Steam account to take the game seriously. Aside from Valve adding the trust factor a few years ago, it seems as if this is the most Valve has done for cheating in the last few years, but sadly right now, I just don't think this is enough. Let me know what you guys think about the update, but also the cheating situation down below. It seems like they are addressing it, but I just don't think in the ways people really want right now. That being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.